I believe that everything happens for a reason. People change so that you learn to let go. Things go wrong so that you'll appreciate them when they're right. You believe lies so you eventually learn to trust no one but yourself. And sometimes good things fall apart so that better things can fall together. Marilyn Monroe. Life hasn't been exactly easy for me, but then again, when has it been easy for anyone? I've been through a lot in my young life, and I'm going to warn you that the first part of this speech is going to be sort of heavy. But don't worry, I'm going to bring you back up in the end. I also need to warn you that what I'm going to talk about includes topics such as suicide, sexual assault, domestic violence, and a behavioral health facility. If any of you need to step out at this time or at any moment, please do so. Now, I don't want to give you the old cliche story of, oh, I'm so sad, and I've been through so much. But I do strongly believe my past has shaped who I am today. Let's go back to the beginning. In just these 19 years of my life, many loved ones have passed away. While I was in elementary school, my grandma Sandy passed away when I was 8, and my cousin Katie passed away when I was 11. These were two of the biggest losses for me, being that I didn't really understand the concept of death at that age. To be honest, the only form of death that I had ever encountered before that was watching Robert Zemeckis' animated A Christmas Carol. There is a scene in the movie where Ebenezer Scrooge is falling into a casket that has been lowered into the ground but not yet covered in dirt. This image stuck with me at every funeral I attended after seeing it. In middle school, I lost about 8 more family and friends, and the nightmare continued. Each funeral brought back the fear and caused more anxiety. And most recently, my grandpa passed away just this last summer. This really threw my family for a loop, but for some reason, I felt numb during all the hospital trips and long nights helping my grandma. So when my grandpa was finally at peace, the nightmare was still there, but I felt very different. For some reason, I sort of felt strong because I was taking care of my family instead of freaking out. I now honor my loved ones by getting tattoos for them of their signatures so that I can feel them close to me all the time. Though these losses affected me, they also gave me the ability to sympathize for others who experience painful losses. I thought losing my loved ones and them passing away would be the worst thing that ever happened to me. But then, in my last 2 years of middle school and my first 2 years of high school, things started really spiraling down for me. In 7th grade, I lost all of my friends, except for one amazing girl, but we'll talk about her a little bit later. I had a group of 6 friends who decided to turn against me and start bullying me. They were the popular kids, and they welcomed me into their PG-13 ways, gladly ruining my innocence. Shortly after these friends decided to let me trust them and convince me that they would never tell my secrets to anyone else, they embellished my secrets and then created lies to accompany them. And soon, the whole halls of Russell Middle School knew too much about me. When my family tried to turn these bullies in, the vice principal told my grandma that everyone gets bullied in their life. As you can imagine, this did not fly with my parents, and they went straight to the head principal. The head principal reprimanded the bullies, but then, after that, one of them threatened to bring a gun to school and shoot me in the head. But hey, everyone gets bullied, right? After they turned the halls into a walk of shame, I decided to attempt suicide. I cut my left arm in 3 places and tried to drown myself. Luckily, I did not do enough harm to do anything but cause a lot of pain for a couple of weeks. I only showed the scars to my parents and a few people at school. I thought that everything would be better if I weren't living, like somehow the bullies would just feel better and feel sorry, and my family wouldn't have to worry about me. And I only really had one friend, so it wouldn't really affect anyone. Later, I realized that it was the complete opposite. The bullies wouldn't care one way or the other if I was living, but the people who were there for me and helped me through, they would be broken. So I stopped myself, and the scars healed, and so did I after some time. When I got into high school, I thought that things would look up, but surprise, surprise, they didn't. During my freshman year of high school, I was sexually assaulted by a boyfriend at the time. He seemed like a perfectly nice guy, and then when we were alone, he turned into an aggressive monster. After he assaulted me, he broke up with me because I wouldn't give him what he wanted. Then he made the school a war zone for me, once again, and made up rumors about what I did with him and that I had STDs. Then when he was breaking up with me, he told me that he had cheated on me and that I should just go back to a previous boyfriend I had named Alex, who I would soon find out was a monster too. Alex and I reconnected and dated for 6 months without my parents knowing. I would pretend I was going to a friend's house for the weekend and instead stay with him. This went on for several weekends, and as I spent more time with him, he began becoming more controlling. He began creating rules, such as not wearing makeup, not doing my hair, wearing only baggy clothing, deleting all of my social media, not wearing any open-toed shoes, not deleting any text messages, and not talking to anyone he didn't approve of. I lost all my friends, I lost most of my family, and I lost myself. He made me do several things that I would never have done before, such as purposely trying to get me pregnant so that, and I quote, we would be stuck together for the rest of our lives. Our relationship was leading towards domestic violence, and if it hadn't been for my family and my therapist, I never would have made it out. It was an incredibly dark time in my life when my therapist and my parents noticed I needed help. I then was put into a mental health facility called Highlands. My parents drove up to Denver at 10 p.m. after a not-so-great therapy session. I couldn't even look them in the eyes. I could barely even speak to them. When I got to Highlands, I was questioned about my suicide attempts and my sexual assault, and then left alone crying in a room by myself for about an hour or more. I was terrified, and I met several people with a lot bigger problems than me, and at first I didn't understand why I was there. But then it clicked that Alex had a very negative impact on me. I didn't like who I had become, and I really didn't like hurting my family. I ended our relationship in December of 2014 and dyed my hair bright red because he always told me I wasn't edgy enough to pull it off. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, this explains why she's so messed up, right? Well, those of you who know me know that these things have hurt me. At the time, absolutely. But now I am strong enough that I can laugh about all of these events, and I no longer mourn over them. I am thankful for making it through, and I take pride in helping others going through any of these similar events. After I got home from Highlands, things started to look up for me, for real this time. I began making friends at the school I swear was made for me, SIVA. Here, I met my two best friends, Max and Sandy, and they taught me that I could trust again. These relationships taught me that not everyone is bad, and that love can happen without being hurt. To this day, Max and Sandy are two of my closest best friends, and I honestly don't know where I'd be without them. Now, remember that one friend I was telling you about in middle school? The one who didn't leave my side when everyone else turned against me? Yeah, her name is Paige, but she is known to me as my grapefruit. Inside joke. Today, I am lucky enough to call her my girlfriend. But she is not only my girlfriend, she is my best friend too. She tells me I'm beautiful every single day, and even on my darkest days, she brings a smile to my face. She helps me do my homework, she encourages me to do what I love, she helps me make good choices, and she got me off the negative path I was heading down. She has never once judged me on my past or made me change to be someone different. It has been an amazing year and 3 months with her, and I am lucky to be in love with my best friend. So sorry to go all Nicholas Sparks on you guys, but she is truly the love of my life, my everything, my grapefruit. Through all of this, I found film, and it was the one thing that helped me when I really felt like giving up. I didn't start liking film until my teacher, Mr. Mayberry, suggested it to me. I took his computer apps my freshman year, and I did so well that he asked me to take his next course. I fell in love with film the minute I touched the shiny black camcorder. I made my first film with my friends, and it wasn't the greatest quality, but being that the only camera I had ever used before was a terrible flip phone camera, I was thrilled. I would actually stay at school until 6 p.m. at night when my teacher had to leave just to edit. When I switched to SIVA, Miss Hall showed me that I could make any kind of film I wanted. Her and I grew very close, and she taught me many wonderful tips and tricks about how to make a quality film. Then, Miss Hall encouraged me to apply for the Youth Documentary Academy, which I was accepted into just last summer. I made 10 new friends over 6 months and got to work with professional filmmakers such as Tom Shepard, the director of Scouts Honor, and Ava Bretsky, the director of 24 Girls. I even made my own documentary about my relationship with Alex that turned into domestic violence, and I called it Rock Bottom. After I made my film, it was screened at the Rocky Mountain Women's Film Festival, twice at the Bemis School of Art, and once in front of my whole school. It has made such an impact today that just walking downtown, I hear people talking about it. I hope to make it big in the film industry in either directing, editing, or cinematography. I hope to be as big as John Hughes or Tim Burton one day. This year, I will graduate high school and either attend Santa Fe University of Art and Design or Colorado Mesa University for film. I have mended the hurt with my family and old best friends, and without them by my side, I would have never made it out. I hope to make a difference with my films and help others going through similar issues. I want to make an impact and leave this world one day feeling proud that I have helped someone. I am on a bright and shining path, and I no longer look at my past as mistakes or disappointments, because it all has taught me many lessons that I will carry with me and help guide others in similar situations. I have the most beautiful girlfriend who I am madly in love with, a family who supports me and loves me through everything, friends who will never turn against me, and a very bright future ahead. All of these things fell apart in my life so that something better could fall together. And they make me who I am today, and I am Rebecca St. John. Thank you.